Well, welcome to Calvin University and our Facebook live stream on this break. And we're so glad you're joining us for LeaderCast and glad you're here to hear from our leaders. Today, we're joined by Calvin University President Dr. Michael Leroy, and we want to learn a little bit more about his experience with disruption during this pandemic. And so welcome, Dr. Leroy. I want to ask you to start off, what's been the biggest challenge to your leadership during this crisis?
Well, thank you very much, and I want to welcome everyone to this LeaderCast on behalf of Calvin University. But yeah, I would say the biggest challenge for me has been how quickly the crisis has moved and how difficult it is to see into the future. So we are just almost literally for a while taking it a day at a time, and but we've also got to plan and be prepared for our greatest aspirations and hopes that we get back to learning in a normal way as soon as possible, and we have to be prepared that it may not work out that way, and that's a very it feels a bit like a very divided way of thinking all the time, sort of preparing, hoping for the best, preparing for the worst, and kind of living in the middle right now.
Yeah. So the ultimate challenge here is to maintain that flexibility and in uncertainty. Yeah. As we kind of think about what you've been experiencing for the past 6 weeks, especially, what's one positive thing that you've learned or experienced during this time?
Yeah, that's a great question. There is Zoom fatigue for everyone. That is a term, and I've had my share of it. But I because I'm not running into people in the halls, and I'm not able to drop by people's offices and see them or encourage them. I just have set up these office hours, one day a week for faculty and staff for an hour, and one day a week for students to drop in, and that's not something I had done before, even in person, but it's been really enjoyable, and there's no agenda for the conversations. I only take a maximum of 6 in the room at any one time, the virtual room, and we just have a conversation. Sometimes people ask questions. Sometimes they just want to tell me something about their story. Some once in a while they want to tell me, kind of what their advice is or what they think ought to happen. And it's just been a warm, rich, engaging time with people. So I've really appreciated that.
That's great. That's great. So finding a way to have a more virtual open door, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When this is behind us, and we return to what hopefully will be a more normal life, what are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, I really miss the in-person relationships, and the capacity to connect with people, the chance encounters that you have. I because I've missed that. Actually, one of the things I've done in our Microsoft Teams platform is occasionally, if I hear about a group that's working really hard doing something, I don't do this all the time, but I have sort of bombed into that group where I actually, just show up, and I can tell that it's been a little unnerving for some people, but it's also been a way to just say, hey, thank you. I really appreciate what you're doing and how hard you're working at this time, and so that's been a lot of fun. And I think what's great about it is it's a surprise encounter, a chance encounter, just like we have when we walk through our roles around community and see people. So I just look forward to a rich return to the kind of relationships that we know and experience when it's incarnational in the flesh. I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Leroy, for joining us for this break, and thanks too to all of you that are participating in LeaderCast for joining us on this Facebook Live break. And we hope you enjoy the rest of the LeaderCast experience, and we hope you come back on future breaks to hear more from Calvin University's leaders. So thanks for being with us.
I'm Mary Hulst. I serve as the university pastor at Calvin University.
Great. So, Mary, if we want to start out, just during this pandemic, what have you found to be the biggest challenge or disruption to your work and to your leadership as university pastor?
I really miss our students. A lot of my ministry is organic in that it happens in the hallways and over meals and just seeing people, and that's not happening now. And that's really hard. Preaching and worship looks a lot different in this setting, and so we're all trying to figure out what is really connecting with students. I've actually had dreams about being with students again, so I found I'm really missing my students, and that's been the most disruptive thing.
Yeah, thanks. As you think about all of the disruptions and those things that you're missing, what's one positive that you might have found or that you might have experienced in this period of disruption?
I'm really praying a lot more, intentionally interceding for leaders in the campus. I've had a little more time in my calendar because I'm not on campus and with students just in those organic ways. And so I really felt God calling me to pray for our campus, for our city, our state, nation, world. And that's been a real gift. That's been a muscle I've been able to strengthen during this time.
Great. And when this is behind us, I mean, we start to see parts of the country opening up a little bit now, but when this is really squarely in the rearview mirror, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to hugging people. I really just miss seeing people and loving them. And so I'm really looking forward to being with students again, being with staff and faculty. We work with amazing people at Calvin University, and I'm just eager to be in rooms with people again.
Hey, thanks again for joining Calvin University on this Facebook live stream event. We're hoping that you'll join us on some of our future breaks throughout the day, and we hope that you're really enjoying LeaderCast 2020 in a virtual way this year. Thanks for joining us.